my RSGB role, general manager, then I liaise with Ofcom very regularly. But we started this conversation some time ago with them because I'll admit the first conversation was, I said what we needed, and they said, "Excuse me, you need what? You need what? Yeah, you need what now?" But one of the things we did over time was explain to them why. I'll tell you how many call signs we actually got in a second. But we explained to them the level playing field concept for WRTC, which of course starts with the station, the equipment and the location. But if you then take that into the call sign territory, you want to make sure that there's the luck of the draw and everything like that, but if we could make them all so that they were equally difficult or equally simple, whichever way you want to take it, then that was important to us as well.
And I remember Andy G4PIQ saying right back in the call sign announcement meeting that it wasn't just that, we picked some call signs, they were all 4 letters. That in itself is a start. But you've done all the analysis of how many DITs, how many DARs. There's a big difference between an MB0O versus an MB5E, particularly in CW.
And I'll tell you really how that happened is I'd started the conversation with Ofcom, and we guessed and we said we might need 3 series of call signs. 3. I'll tell you what I mean by that in just a second. Well, no, let's say MB1, MB2, MB3, something like that. And then Andy PIQ did the analysis and went, I think we're going to need a few more. So I then had to say to Ofcom, I told you 3. They went, yeah. I said, well, we really need like 7. And they said, sorry, 7 series, A to Z, that way. And I explained to them that actually we'd need, I think it was 5 would get us close to a level playing field, or 6 or 7 would guarantee a level
mean that we
playing
can actually
field.
achieve.
Absolutely. So they said, we'll get back to you. And then the result, of course, was the notice of variation where we got MB1 through to 7, A to Z. So I had to write this down in case I didn't want to do live maths. The problem.
Well, especially at 11 o'clock
or
at
math
night,
or maths, depending on where you're watching. So that's 182 call signs.
Of which we're using 50.
We're using 50 of them, absolutely, because you want to take out, as Andy said at the opening ceremony, you want to take out the ones where the if you're using speech, the number of syllables would be longer, and if you're using CW, the number of bits, we might call it, too many of those. So just to try and make it balanced, then we used from those 182 down to 50 to give us that level playing field. So
and it wasn't even the number of syllables and bits, because I remember Andy saying MB4K got discarded because, of course, that very well-known Mike Delta 4 kilo.
Exactly. So there was quite a sort of no, can't have it, crossing out exercise, which Andy and I think Lee and Mark were probably all looking at it. Andy did the original, the statistical analysis. Now I think they all had a good look at what should be removed, and then they ended up with the call signs they did that they announced. And I was holding my breath, because when you put something up like that, you want the audience reaction, and there was a round of applause, and so that was quite some moment.
It would have been so easy to just go, we'll do GB 26.
Well,
ABC.
it was on offer.
And that would have been it would have been fine.
Yeah,
but it would have put the WRTC stations at a relative disadvantage to all the established contesters who are. Let's remember, we're here for WRTC. But there's also the IARU radio sport contest going at the same time. And you don't want our competitor stations to be taking twice as long to send their call signs as the other
GR2HQ is active over this weekend for the UK, of course.
Yes.
In that contest. One that I've operated a few times in.
Very good. So I have to ask this notice of variation. So in the UK at least, NOVs vary an existing license.
Yeah.
Is this attached to someone's license?
Well, we have the agreement with Ofcom that we can assign it to a UK amateur on each site.
Right. So it's effectively whoever gets Mike Bravo 1 Alpha, that goes to their license.
Yeah.
And I remember that when they were doing all the site setup, of course, for some teams coming from, CEPT countries, as we sort of colloquially say, signatories to is it TR061? They came over, they did their testing prior to the contest, obviously didn't have their call signs. They were Mike/home call.
Yeah.
But there were some folks from countries where those automatic reciprocal agreements didn't exist.
But of course now with the license conditions we've got, somebody else can use your call sign under supervision. Right? So there's
and again you'd organised all of those club call signs to be available.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And what happens to this series after this weekend?
Oh no, this is a special. This is a very special between these dates. That's it. Some of those call signs, MB and numbers, are actually used in the UK for beacons, gateways, things like that, but not with just a single suffix.
No, I know
single letter suffix. That's what makes these really unique.